This is Countdown to Economic Collapse, October 16th, 2011. I'm David John Sponheim for America's Third Party, and this is your point of sanity for economic comprehension and understanding. I must tell you that the protests in Wall Street that were staged by the left, they're actually working. In a way, they're giving people on Wall Street more profits. Wall Street has surged and continues to climb. The stock market went up 166 points at the end of the week. So, the protests amounted to about 800 arrests. The media, the liberal media, is claiming that it's starting all around the world. Well, it turns out that the very same people that staged this event actually were behind Arab Spring. Isn't that interesting? Remember Arab Spring? The Middle East was constantly fomenting protests. Barack Obama encouraged those protests. Well, that was a design by very powerful people to encourage democracy around the world. On the front side, it seems very, very good. It seems like it's the American thing to do. On the back side is it destabilizes world politics. It forces our entire nation at the will and mercy of protesters, rioters, mobs. It essentially undermines the very essence of normal trade relations and caused the price in gas to skyrocket over $1 a gallon this past year. So, where do you stand and what can you do as an average American? Well, we're having and conducting an online revolution at America's Third Party. You can go there and participate in starting to get involved as a member of America's Third Party and pushing a third party movement in America. That's essentially what we've been doing for some time. And it's a more rational approach than going out and gathering in the streets, getting beaten up by various police forces, and ultimately saying nothing, and watching the Wall Street profiteers continue to profit. We want to actually change the government from within. Now, there's nothing secret about it. What it is a plan to create new ideas that will stimulate jobs and will target the key problems affecting our economy, like housing and lack of production. Whereas the big corporations who've gotten all the money from the TARP funds that Barack Obama approved, they've been having a field day on Wall Street, and now companies like Kinder Morgan just acquired El Paso Natural Gas, where they're in the process of acquiring 50,000 miles of natural gas line, the largest acquisition in U.S. history. Now, this is only pale in comparison to the fact that the real problem is Goldman Sachs was behind the original Kinder Morgan acquisition, and Goldman Sachs, the bank, they're the ones powering up more grab, more takeover of our economy, controlling our electric system, controlling our power and our natural gas is at the heart of what these big banks are now doing. They've already profited and made up the losses they incurred in October of 2008. And now they're in the process of acquiring more and larger territories and types of commodities, and eventually they'll control everything, our energy, our food, transportation. Big corporations. It's what I've been calling the corporatocracy of America. It has taken over, and that's the reason why an average man like myself is unable to get any mass media attention. It's why our country has turned our supposed democracy, or a republic, into a field day for profiteering by various big banks and elitists. Now, the sad thing is, the people running these corporations are living in the shadows. Many of them are not even U.S. citizens. And the bigger problem is, they've allowed massive immigration problems to occur in every country that is part of their nexus of control. We currently aren't even in control of our own boundaries. For example, in Idaho, Butch Otter, the governor, has allowed China to build a 50-mile square radius fertilizer plant near Boise, Idaho. It happens to be right under a strategic military base where the Chinese nationals will be working and, by the way, acquiring citizenship. There is a big, huge casino planned in New Jersey, Chris Christie's governor of. We have a Chinese casino, the largest ever, being built right under our nose. So we aren't even in charge of our own sovereignty. You see, this whole cycle can be broken. The average American in America can simply vote for a presidential candidate that is in the middle of the political spectrum, that is a centrist, dedicated to negotiating and working with both sides, but at the same time not forgetting the needs of the people on the far left and the far right. That would be me. My primary concern is to restore our republic to its original values, maintain our Bill of Rights, get the TSA out of our airports, make sure that rapid scans are no longer used on people, but rather on luggage, which we should be scanning, not currently the other way around. And we should start to look at improving our way of life by offering people more job opportunities, lowering regulations on small business so that small business can thrive. We don't want more bureaucracy. We want to downsize the budget by $1 trillion a year. Barack Obama is unable to do that. Republicans and Democrats are unable to do that. Their special interest, muddy backers, will not let them let go because they basically make money on the government teat. The people that support Democrats and Republicans are making lots and lots of money, like Tony Rezko, the slumlord in Chicago, who gave Barack Obama $350,000. In return, he got $100 million in HUD money to continue with his slum. We're allowing immigration to run rampant in our society. Obama's handing out Visa cards left and right without any real understanding of what it's going to lead to. And the illegal alien flow is still coming in over the border. And like Michelle Bachmann, I actually support a border fence of 1,000 miles. I believe that that fence could essentially create a strong deterrent if there's any major catastrophe down in Mexico or in South America. The deterrent will eventually, of course, protect our own nation and its own economic needs. I'm sure you've all seen a lot of illegal aliens going to the store and getting food stamps and apparently profiting, driving nice SUVs. I'm sure it's a thing that makes you enraged. Well, believe me, I'm just as enraged as you are, but I'm not going to go to Wall Street and protest because I'm not a leftist and I'm not getting funding from the leftists. And I'm not a Tea Party person on the far right. And I'm not getting funding from the Tea Party, even though it's not a party. It doesn't have to report it to the FEC. I'm not a part of the extreme. I'm part of the middle of America, the silent majority, if you will. And as an average American running for president, I absolutely believe that we will galvanize support in the middle of the political spectrum and begin to change and mold our nation's future with an eye for rational discussion, a positive approach toward innovation, and of course always catering to the needs of the many, but certainly not giving up the rights of the individual. Discussion going. So if you want this place, Countdown to Economic Collapse, as your point of reference, I urge you to check out our future shows because it's going to get interesting. I believe the stock market's going to begin to tumble again toward the end of the year. I believe that they're creating a false sense of assurance. I previously told you that they're corralling people out of the silver and gold market by using devious methods, COMEX, changing the ground rules on investment. I also believe that our stock market will eventually reach a point at which it will ground out at around 7,000. Now, why am I still believing that? Because I still see a very shaky, monetaristic policy coming out of Barack Obama. I still believe that he is solely responsible for what's going on in Wall Street. Now, if the protesters want to wake up and realize that their leader has directed them in the wrong direction, has not done enough oversight through the SEC on Wall Street activities, then those people can join us in the middle of the political spectrum. We've got people out there right now who are protesting in Wall Street with signs for America's third party, but we aren't paying them. We're not part of the planned insurrection that the leftists are staging right now around the country. And like I said, they did it with Arab Spring, they're doing it again here in America. We cannot allow a group of 1,000 or more people to change or warp the future of American politics or our economy. So join me and become a part of America's Third Party's online revolution. I'm David John Sponheim for America's Third Party, and I support this message.
Check us out at americasthirdparty.com.